Well, welcome everyone. Yeah, I think today is going to be one of those days where not a whole lot happens. The weather is a little bit finicky today. We've got rain forecasted, thunder showers, sun, a good mix. Grass is a little bit too wet to mow. This morning we got to rough mowing some of the fields, but we're going to spend this afternoon just kind of wandering and rambling. And yeah, got to do that sometimes too. But no, beautiful day right now, and yeah, we're going to walk around and show you a few things that we've done and what's on the go here. Hopefully see a couple of things, projects and where they are, where they're sitting at, and future projects. So yeah, sometimes you just got to enjoy what you have and enjoy the benefit of working hard. And yeah, there's always satisfaction in a job well done and improving your property. We're not a traditional homestead by any means. I mean, we like the modern conveniences of, you know, running water and electricity, and we don't have animals yet, but you know, these things will come, and we work towards that when time and money and become available. But today is just one of those days where we're just going to walk around and see what's going on. So thanks for joining us. Glad you could come, and I hope you enjoy this video. One of the things that we have to get done this summer is finishing the landscaping on the south side of the building. The drainage ditch that we made was a little bit too shallow for winter runoff. For summer runoff, when it rains, it runs adequately down there. But for winter, all it does is run and then freeze, and then it goes over the driveway and creates just a big ice slab. So we're deepening the ditch here, as you can see. So I worked on that yesterday with the tractor and the bucket. So the idea with this landscaping on the south side of the shop and to redefine the drainage ditch is, what happens is it runs down the driveway here, and as you can see where the silt and the dirt is, it crosses the driveway here and goes into the front lawn. And like I say, during the summer rains it's not a big deal, but it turns into a sheet of ice during the winter. So we're going to be digging this down deeper and possibly putting another culvert pipe underneath the driveway here. We think that might solve some of the ice problems with a deeper ditch and a culvert. That'll certainly help out for the spring and whenever the snow and the ice melt. Well, we're going to try mowing one of the fields this afternoon, and I've got the rough mower hooked up to the quad. It's all gassed up, ready to go, but the way it's sitting now is that it is not going to be cutting level. The size of quad that I have and the location of the hitch post is not sufficient to bring the mower level. So we have to add to the hitch post there, add a couple inches, and then re-bolt it higher up on that post. And I've already got it adjusted as high as it'll go with the adjusting screw, the micro adjust if you want to call it that, and I'm at the highest it'll go, so I have to make the rest of the adjustment on the hitch post. So we're going to take some scrap and weld on 4 or 5 inches, and that should take care of the problem. Okay, so the idea is that we're going to take another piece of square tube and just add maybe 6 inches, 6-7 inches. Okay, well, we've welded an extension piece onto the hitch post, and we'll see if that gets us the extra height that we needed. Okay, well, it's better. So when I make a new one, I'll have to make it just a tad longer, but I think that'll be good enough for today. So we're going to bring it out to the field and see how it performs. So Mrs. From the Woods took a couple of videos of me running around with the rough mower, and I guess it's called a rough mower for a reason. The grass was so tall that I think we knocked most of it down with the tires of the quad, and didn't really mow it, we just kind of pushed it down, but at least it's knocked down. We'll let it recover, let the grass dry, and we'll carry on. Got to go work in that far field over there, but that's pretty steep and I don't want to do that when it's wet. I don't want to slip and slide and risk falling off. So seeing as we're kind of held up in the outdoor work, I thought I'd just continue on with showing you around what's going on around here. This little area, Mrs. From the Woods and I kind of thought would be a good place for an animal shelter, horses or sheep or something like that, so we're saving up some lumber to put a small shelter up. Compost pile for those of you that are interested. Please don't unsubscribe for letting me talk about compost, but I turned it over yesterday with the tractor and it seems to be coming along pretty good. Well, just ran across this female grouse, and there's a couple of chicks with her hidden in the grass there, so she's keeping an eye on it. See if I can get a picture of some of the chicks that are running around here. They kind of disappear into the grass when something goes on, but don't know if you can see the Mrs. Grouse there. Yeah, so there's Mrs. Grouse. I've seen 3 little chicks so far, but they tend to sit still, and there they go. Did you see that? Now I see 5, so there's 5 little chicks, and hopefully we'll, oh, where'd they go now? Up on the tree. There we are. That's 1 of 5 that I've seen. So we'll just leave them alone. Nice to see that that they made it just about spring. Since winter melt to right now, because we've had so much rain. This spring box has had water all the way around, and this is kind of a collecting point for all the rainwater and the winter melt and the runoff, and then it makes its way down through this marshy wetland area, and very difficult to walk through. If you're not careful, you can sink up to above your ankles in mud. But yeah, probably a good source of mosquitoes as well coming up as soon as it dries out a bit. So I spent some time on Thursday mowing lawns as we had a window of dry, and Mrs. From the Woods and I kind of thought we're going to leave this piece of grass for a little bit because the white clover is in bloom, and we'd love the bees to take advantage of this. Whether they do or not, we're not sure. Right now after the rainstorm there's no activity, but yeah, yesterday the bees were all over the place here, so we kind of like the look of the white clover in this field. But as you can see, it's pretty plentiful in this one. But the dandelions are done for the year, at least for blooming, and it's the clover's turn to take over, which we don't mind. One of the things we've noticed this year is an abundance of anthills, and they seem to pop up and migrate. They move along. And they're all over the place. This one happens to be in the front lawn. And we've heard that coffee grounds sprinkled over the ant's nest discourages ants, but our experience has been that that's a bit of a myth. Doesn't seem to work. But I guess we live in an area where there's anthills, not much you can do about it. Mrs. From the Woods has been tending the front garden and expanding it, and as summer comes and goes, the flowers in their turn bloom and leave, and the poppies were out in full force a couple days ago, but now they're on their way out. But the peonies are just starting to come into bloom, and they look pretty healthy this year. Again, probably because of all the rain that we've had. So a bit of an update on the handrail. It now has a top cap. We put that on about a week ago. Another section of garden that Mrs. From the Woods is working on. When we moved in, this was just a hill that had been dug away, and a few native plants were there, and grass and dandelions, and Mrs. From the Woods has been diligent in getting this turned into a perennial alpine garden. And yeah, so 15 days into summer, it's starting to look pretty good. Most of the plants are starting to take. Hopefully this stabilizes the hillside as well. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be a canvas of gardening that is going to be ongoing over the years. So a while back, we had an opportunity to pick up some materials. That is 8-foot animal fencing that we picked up from a contractor that we do work for, and they're replacing some of the animal fencing in Banff National Park. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of the stuff that was there, but could only carry so much. And another future project for Mrs. From the Woods, we picked up a whole bunch of red bricks. And the idea behind this one is that we're going to eventually make a sitting area around the fire pit. So over the past several weeks we've had lots of rain. And in a previous video I attempted to patch the cracks in the water tank. But as it turns out, that when this tank is full of water, it's no longer a round tank, it's an oval tank. And it just split the cracks even further. So I'm going to say that this tank is beyond repair. So it still holds water from about 325 gallons. So we'll keep it there, but I doubt if we'll keep water above that. It just leaks out. So another bit of material that we were able to pick up were a couple of manhole covers and some rings that they fit in. My son is working for a contractor doing some work in Banff National Park, and they were replacing some services, and we're getting rid of these manhole covers. Banff National Park. I thought they were kind of unique, so I asked if they were available, that he would pick them up and take them home, which he was gracious enough to do. And I think we have, I think we have 6 or 7. Don't need that many, but one of the plans is to take the ring and one of these manhole covers and redo the well cover. I thought that'd be kind of interesting. So this is our current well, and I guess the previous owner just used a metal barrel to encase it and cover it up with the lid. And I thought this is where we would put that manhole cover from Banff National Park with its ring, just to clean it up a bit. I think that'll look a little bit nicer. Yeah, just one of these little projects that spruce the place up. Small improvements, one at a time. So one of the resources again that we seem to have lots of is bark chips. This pile is nothing but poplar and aspen chips, which is kind of nice. We had 3 other piles of spruce and pine and mixed with poplar, but this is all poplar, which is ideal for gardens. So this is being continually spread around the property underneath trees and in the garden. And yeah, I'm sure that the local arborist is going to be coming with more. So a quick update on the bees, seeing as I'm at the top of the hill. They seem to be pretty active at the moment, even though it's getting a little bit cool. And it looks like we're in for a bit more rain. But the last time we checked, they were expanding outwards but not upwards. So don't know what that means. Maybe I have to give them a bit more of the summer. But so far they've lasted and seem to be doing okay. Have to get around to putting a fence around this too to protect it from the bears. Sometimes you just got to stop and smell the roses. Always enjoy coming to the top of the hill, especially when it's sunny out and the grass and the trees are so green. And every once in a while you come across a nice little patch of wild lupin. Seem to be pretty healthy this year. So about 2 months ago, a representative from the utility supplier here that owns the power lines and the poles came through and marked the trees that are going to be cut down. I guess they do that every 5 years. And these are slated to come down sometime this summer. A couple more trees that are slated to come down. Yeah, you wonder why they pick some and not others. I can see why they pick these. It looks like they're either diseased or looking very old at the bottom there, probably weak at the base. These are pretty big trees. So if our project list wasn't long enough already, one of the things we would like to get to this summer, it's not priority, but this is an area where the previous owner had piled grass clippings and leaves and a whole bunch of stuff, and we've been slowly whittling away at getting rid of it and trying to get it leveled off and back to its natural state. But one of the things that happens is over the winter when I plow, this is where I pile the snow. It's just a convenient spot, but with the snow is a lot of rock from the driveway, so we have to reclaim some of that rock and put it back on the driveway. So hopefully we'll get to that this summer. So I came back from my wandering around the property and found Mrs. from the Woods embarking on her latest hobby, and that's fortifying the wall here. What have you got to say for yourself, Mrs. from the Woods?
This is tedious, but once the weeds are all gone, it'll be worth it.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Thank you. Needs a lot more color.
One of Mrs. from the Woods' other hobbies is collecting rocks. And on our walks, she picks and fills her pockets full of little rocks for underneath the deck here. But we use the resources we have, and it's starting to look good. So the other night, my son comes up at 9 o'clock at night and says, yeah, you know, there's an exceptional amount of wasps in my room. And we found out why. That's a hole in the siding that I drilled for the telephone line, but it was in the wrong location, and I had to move it up and never got around to patching the hole. And over the spring here, the wasps have found an opportunity to build a nest, and Mrs. from the Woods has used this opportunity to say, I told you so. So we've given it a spray with some wasp killer, and I'll have to get around to patching that hole. Okay, well that kind of concludes our little walk around the property. Sometimes it's just good to stop what you're doing and enjoy what you have. Enjoy nature, enjoy the sun when it comes out. Kind of enjoyed the walk myself. Again, we're happy that you could come and join us. Hope you enjoyed this video. And we'll get on to some more projects here in the future here, but a little bit of a hiatus in between projects and trying to find work. And yeah, beautiful Saturday. So we would really love it if you subscribe to our channel and liked and shared and that good stuff. And hopefully you'll join us again for more videos to come. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.